Hey guys, so welcome to Sin's Gaming Channel, and today I have my Mass Effect Andromeda review. Some say better late than never. Some will probably say why bother? And well, I guess I have a lot of free time, and who are you anyway to tell me what to do? Please don't. So I only recently bought Mass Effect Andromeda because I was scared by all the horror stories surrounding it, notably the bad animation job, of course. And now my relationship with Mass Effect in general isn't a very tight one. Um, sure, I mean I enjoyed Mass Effect 1 and 2, but already at the third one I really drew the towel in very early in the game, like first level kind of early. Yeah, it just didn't click with me. It was just too really. I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. So later on, I had too many games to play, so kind of got lost in the shuffle. So maybe later on I give it a try. Mass Effect 3, that is. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not really sure. It's honestly, I don't know if there's a little. I hope this shadow isn't too. Oh wait. Aha. Now this should be. Well, it's better. Anyway, sorry about that. I worked everything alone, so there is, as you can see, there's a lot of. Maybe you cannot see it because it's a green screen. Anyway, I do this all alone, so the production values are maybe not as high as you expect of someone. But anyways, so back to Mass Effect Andromeda. So first of all, there's a lot of actual hate surrounding the game, which is, I guess, sometimes deserved, sometimes not. Sometimes it's just people who like to jump on the hate wagon and scream shame, shame, shame for something they don't really know why. For example, with Mass Effect Andromeda, I noticed that a lot of people that scream right away, yeah, let me see. I have a script here, that's why I'm reading here. A lot of pages. So of course, the first thing you always hear about Mass Effect Andromeda is the animation suck, followed by the story sucks, and this and that sucks. Because after investigating any further, you quickly noticed that I got it back a little bit. So I don't know why there's a shadow. I don't know, in my face. It's weird. Maybe it's my glass. I don't know. Anyway, so a lot of people they're very quick to scream all these different things suck, but when you actually ask, yeah, but what exactly sucks at the story, for example, then very quickly people will run out of any useful information because they don't have actually an idea what the game or the story is. I'm not saying everybody that's the case for everybody. I'm just saying that a lot of times people don't seem to have actually know the game, played the game any further than, for example, some free hour or some first level stuff, and they don't seem to actually know the story. Now, well, I tried to stay on script, just to anyway. So anyway, now I'm not to say that these people are necessarily wrong or right, but it's more about being careful to trust the generic hate for a game that in occasions like this happens simply because of of a bad release, which in this case is probably the most likely situation. So anyway, and I will agree that the game was released early, way too early. I bought the game right now at version 1, just when it updated from 008 to 009. So I am 9 patches in, and now the game feels like, the game itself, I'm just talking the game itself from a technical point of view, like a finished game. Now, later on we go on to the plot and stuff of the story and everything. Don't worry. So again, the facial animations have been fixed, mostly. They don't look freakish anymore now, they look a little bit more deadly, or less, I don't talk with emotions, but at least it doesn't scare kids anymore. So I guess that's an advantage. So what's next? Yeah, and for the animations, the thing is, the problem is that if you go to YouTube now, you will still find the videos from the game at release. So people will still think that this actually is the game today, which is not the case anymore. So that's a problem. And again, I also agree that it's inexcusable to release games in this kind of state, in a state of who tested these games. I mean, at some point you have to ask those developers and publishers, did anyone seriously play this game? And nobody questions anything. I mean, I can just see that you have in a room like 20 Q&A testers, and you have like a sheet on their desk. Do not mention animations. All right, let's go. No, the game is okay. No, don't mention. No, don't mention it. But really, I mean, it's like, don't mention it. Okay, move on. So yeah, that's probably how this happens, because somebody is telling the testers not to mention these issues, or someone tells them, don't worry about it. It's just a stand-in. The real animations will look better. I don't know. At some point, somewhere in the production line, there has to be a hiccup. There has to be a point where something has gone wrong, terribly gone wrong. So, about the next thing now is that the case of animations, since it has been fixed, in my opinion, it's also, while it's inexcusable, I think it's also forgettable. I think right now, at this point in time, people should forget about how the animations were, and more fix at how the animations are now, and not take into consideration. I won't play this game now because it had bad animations then. I mean, you can do it as of course. Everybody has the choice of doing this as you want to, but I think it's a stupid reason not to play this game. You have a lot of reasons not to play this game, believe me. I'm very well aware of this, but this would be a sad reason not to play the game. So, now a bit of background information about myself, and there is a point to this. So, I'm in between work, if you will say this. I'm an IT technician, but I'm married, I have 2 children, and my wife is currently, let's say, health-wise, I have to be at home to take care of her for the time being. It is what it is. But anyway, so the point of it is, I do not have a lot of money. We have enough money. We are fed and clothed, and we live in a quite okay apartment, I guess. We just moved here in Geneva, Switzerland, so expensive, but well, anyway. But the point of it is this: I have not a lot of money. My only expenses are video games and my computer, and I cannot afford to spend 60 bucks on a game, or not, at least not if I want to buy more than 1 or 2 games a month, plus then every year or so new parts for my computer. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke. I quit smoke 2 years ago. I basically don't touch any alcohol anymore. I don't do anything else. I don't buy any fancy clothes or anything. I don't have a car. I ride a bicycle, a relatively cheap one. So I don't spend a lot of money, and I don't have a lot of money. So I don't buy games at release, especially not AAA games, because I really hate this shadow here because it goes on my face. Anyway, maybe can turn around a bit like this. No, like this. That's too much. Anyway. Yeah, let's just ignore the shadow in my face, and hope that next time I have a better lighting over here. So yeah, anyway, my point is, I learned sorry. I learned that buying games at release for $60 is a terrible idea in general, so I don't do it. So, case in point, Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, if you went out and bought it at release, because, hey, Mass Effect, what can possibly go wrong? Well, I guess you figured it out, what can go wrong. So you're out $60 for a game that makes your little children cry and have nightmares because of the facial animations and the way the people walked and talked and everything. And yeah, you are frustrated. Understandably. Now the problem is that these people who were, in my opinion, stupid enough to buy a AAA title at release, which, let's face it, the more and more AAA titles are not finished at release. I know you're going to list, yeah, but this game was, and this game was. Yes, they probably were, and you're probably right. But that's just the exemption that confirms the rule. Most AAA titles are not finished at release, especially not games from Electronic Arts or Ubisoft or the other one. I seriously have Blizzard. What was not Blizzard, but the other one that's attached to them? I forgot. The guys who make Call of Duty. I forgot the name. Anyway, EA and Ubisoft, they are not known for releasing complete finished games. Let's face it. So you know it. If you buy the game for $60, you know you will get disappointed in most of the times. Sure, statistically you have a chance that you won't be, but statistically also you have most likely you will be disappointed for the product, for this price at this time. So, now back to me. So I bought this game a month ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I bought it for $24 on a CDK site. It's a key you activate on Origin. It works perfect. So I now have a $24 game, which is about the price tag that you find on Steam for most of the early access indie type games. So you have first of this, and I have 9 patches already. So I have a more or less fixed game. More fixed game, I can say this because I didn't encounter any bugs that would in any way or form hinder my progress. So there we are. So for me, my way to judge the game is a lot less influenced by that $60 spend factor, and so keep that in mind. So now time for a more in-depth review of the game finally. So now before I go to the review, just to say I have finished the game from A to C in normal, so it was a bit easy, I have to admit, but it's what it is, I guess. So my review is based on the 008-009 version of the game, and that will probably reflect the difference between those professional reviewers who made this review with the 000 version, 0 version, the release version, or even a pre-gold version, which just must have been terrible. I just cannot imagine. Seriously, people should not review games until they're fixed. And that shouldn't be able to be sold as well. So let's see. Let's now go to the story. Now I won't tell you the story because I think it's something that you should either experience for yourself or read it somewhere. I don't know. I'm not here to tell you the story, so I won't say the shadow. Anyway, so I just want to tell you about how I perceived it. And it's true that the story kind of throws you into the deep end right from the get-go, and I'm honestly fine with it. Because, however, I have a problem with unfinished or rushed plot lines, and that's where Andromeda has a lot of weak points. Without going into details, there is a major plot line with an antagonist or protagonist. It's not actually very clear, and that plot never comes to a conclusion. It just disappears. I mean, you have somewhere in the middle of the game, you become aware of this group, and you have to follow some clues to find out what happened or whatever. But at the end, it's like nobody cares. So it's kind of weird. So the main plot itself, on the other hand, I found quite enjoyable and really immersed me in this whole new galaxy and all its wonders. So of course you can easily see that it's a Mass Effect game by looking at the big plot bullet points, if you want. So there is a lost civilization, a very advanced lost civilization. So like the precursor, I think that was actually the name, like the precursor civilization from Mass Effect, who disappeared, who basically was beaten or something by a more advanced race, species themselves. It's not really clear. Anyway, that race is gone. Only this remnants is left behind with incredible power, and that big ass space anomaly called the Scourge, which also is not really clear what it is. But later, I come back later on this. So anyway, we have this whole main plot that is entertaining and fun. So, but it's clearly, you can clearly see this Mass Effect similarities, copy pasted a little bit. So a civilization lost, very advanced civilization that it lost, a very advanced enemy that is more powerful than anything else. And but again, there's been a lot of loose ends in this story, in all the stories, in all these main plots, which lead me to believe that they have planned a lot of DLCs initially. Now we know there is a rumor running around that there won't be DLC. I'm not sure about this. I kind of think that the better idea here would be to effectively scratch any DLC plans for Mass Effect Andromeda, but work at a Mass Effect Andromeda 2. Now you can say, why? Anything I spent $60. Again, you have $60, then you're already kind of a loser. Not being bad, I don't want to be evil or something, but again, if you buy a game from EA or Ubisoft, whatever the other name is, for $60 at release or even pre-order, you're really trying to get hurt. I cannot say this anything different. So I think I'm going to now let loose of my script, because I think reading and stuff, I wrote this already, so I know what I wrote. So I try to remember what I wrote, because I cannot read and write at the same time. Read and talk at the same time. Because especially when I read from a script and I think of something else, then I usually go off script a little bit, and then it's hard to go back to the script, so whatever. I'm going to try this a little bit. So we'll talk about the stories. So to give you a point that if you haven't played the game, basically you are on a mission from the Milky Way to Andromeda, 2 different galaxies. And the voyage takes like 600 years in cryo. Yes, I think all in cryo. I think some of the races were in cryo. I think the Asari or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, at the end, we have several arcs for each species. So the humans, the Asari, the whatever and whatever. I don't remember the names of all these different species. I just remember Asari and Turans. I don't know, something like this. Anyway, you have 4 species that have arrived during the game, meaning you have 3 arcs that you have to discover during the game, and at the end of the game, or somewhere towards the end of the game, the, some of the NPCs talks about the the other races that are still missing. So, assuming that not all of these different races have an arc, you can safely assume that they talk about at least 2 to 4 or more arcs that are still missing, which is like DLC material pure, and which probably were the initial plans for it. Would the game if the game hadn't bombed so bad? But it's kind of, well, I'm not actually sure. I haven't seen any sales numbers. I know that from a critic point of view, the game has bombed. Metacritic, it's like in red or orange. I don't know. So it's pretty low, but I don't know if that actually has any factor of the sales, how it's sold. So, and it's on Origin, so you cannot see people how many people play the game. It's hard to tell. Anyway, for now, it seems that most of the people who worked on the game for BioWare Montreal have not been released, as many think. No, they have been moved to another studio who shares the same space, the workspace in Montreal as they did. So they basically stay at the same place, but work for another studio in that same building. So nobody has been left go. But of course, that means also that they do not work on a DLC. Now, it's not clear at this point if that means there won't be any deals anymore at all, because we still have people working on patches. So that's the update just happened. So that's still going. We don't know if they outsource the DLC work on another studio. That's possible. That's happened there before. So again, we don't know how exactly the plans are for the future of Mass Effect. I don't think they will drop the franchise altogether. Seems very unlikely because it's too good of a franchise. The whole universe and everything of Mass Effect, it's too much fun and too important, I think, for Electronic Arts and BioWare to just drop. So I think we'll see. I hope we'll see Mass Effect Andromeda 2 and not DLCs, because DLCs will mean they have to add to the game which didn't sell that good, I guess. I'm really assuming that it didn't sell good, because that's why we haven't any DLC plans. So I'd rather see them they redeem themselves with Mass Effect Andromeda 2, and then I really hope, because again, a lot of the plot lines have unfinished ends, or have no ends at all, or no mentions of any ends. That would be sad. Like I said, for example, this protagonist. I think it's antagonist. It's the so-called benefactors, which is a shady kind of group or organization that's from the Milky Way, that actually paid for the entire mission to Andromeda, which basically was to escape the Reapers. The Reaper cycle, which happens every 50,000 years in the Milky Way. Now, first of all, it's kind of weird that the Reapers only act in the Milky Way. So I'm thinking that the benefactors, they could actually be agents of the Reapers to send to the Andromeda to see if the Andromeda galaxy would be worthwhile reaping. Harvesting, I don't know. Yeah, Reapers the harvest, I think I call it. So maybe that, or it's just a bunch of rich guys who try to escape the Reapers. But then again, why stay hidden? I mean, the reason they are hidden is because they don't want to know who they are, which leads me to believe that they are not very nice guys. I guess they're probably on the bad guy side, and so maybe the Reapers or something. Then the next thing is the whole remnant thing with I don't know, I forget the name of the race that actually built the remnant technology. So we have this huge networks of terraforming structures who are placed in the entire, at least in the Helios cluster of Andromeda. I don't know if I guess it's only the Helios cluster. So we have these structures which are able to turn basically rocks, into livable planets. And some time ago, something happened Actually, it happens like in between the 600 years because the Scourge didn't happen before the Milky Way expedition was sent out. So we know this. So the last 600 years, the remnant, some either they created the Scourge. The Scourge is the space anomaly that attacks and disables this remnant technology. So either it's a byproduct of the creation, or it is a weapon of someone else trying to attack this species. But then where did this species go? Because you don't see any other alien races that have anything to do with the Scourge. There is the cat, which is an alien race, but they do not control the remnant tech. They do not control the Scourge. They have no control. They come from another cluster, so they have nothing to do with this. And yeah, it's kind of weird because you don't know what exactly caused the Scourge, this anomaly. So if this in the game, you basically turn on anything, and it's made clear to you that the Scourge is attracted to remnant technology. So it's kind of weird that you light on the entire universe, say, hey, come here, attack me, and then it's just over. So I really want that to be solved. I really want to know why this happens and how it happened, and more backstory. I can also imagine that the species who made the remnant tech had a civil war, so itself destroyed itself, meaning one side said, hey, no, we cannot do this. The other side, yes, we can. It reminds me a little bit of Energy Online, where you have the redeemed and unredeemed. Go check it out. And one side uses the technology, the other doesn't. The one gets corrupted, and the other gets no, not as stay like they are actually. The ones that get corrupted and have a big war, one where it's the other, and in the end everybody dies. And I guess that could be possible here as well, because it would look like this because there is no enemy left. If one side won the war, then they would still be there. But if it's a civil war, it's quite possible that they would self-destruct them during the fight because they live in the same place. And yeah. But so anyway, there's a lot of plot holes that are open. But still, the game itself, I really enjoyed it. And for me, a game I really judge the game by how it motivates me to continue and to want to finish the game. And this one absolutely delivered on this point. I wanted to finish the game. Of course, I wanted to see some of the plot points explained, but which didn't. But still, I had a lot of fun doing it. And I really hope there will be a Mass Effect Andromeda 2, just so they can redeem themselves. And I hope they will now allocate the right people to it, or more qualified people to it. I'm not saying they're not qualified. I just think that a lot of the people that worked on the project did not have the experience yet to do such a big project. And it was also, as far as I know, the people who worked on Mass Effect Andromeda did never work on a Mass Effect title before. So that's probably the reason why. So anyway, other than this, I really like the open world kind of sandboxy approach to this. And I really hope that we get Mass Effect Andromeda 2 to get the story, because the story, there is so much new material that needs to be explained and needs to be told, and it would be sad if it wouldn't. So I'm going to cut short now because I think I have talked for quite some while now, and yeah, anyway. And also, yeah, another thing is that there's a lot to do in the game. You can go where you want, you can do what you want. Just keep in mind that don't criticize the game, because yeah, there's so much side missions and so generic side missions. Yeah, but don't do them. Most missions you don't have to do. I mean, you have to do a couple of the missions, but just follow the main missions on the planet to get the viability of the planet. Don't do every mission. Don't drive to point A to point B just for one mission. No, if you happen to drive past one of these points, you have to go for another mission, then you can check out the point. But don't go out of your way to go all back and forth and everything. So yeah, anyway, I think the game really has come a long way, from what I can see. And again, if you can buy the game for 20 or so bucks, I think it's absolutely worth it. if you use the formula $1 per 1 hour play, you will get way, way, way more out of it than you paid. Again, I have $24, and I have at least 1 to 200 hours of gameplay just in one playthrough, and I think it's worth it. So, yeah, check it out. I think you should check it out. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you back next time. Bye.